Hello YouTube, welcome to my nerdy virtual pub quiz. Be 4 categories in this. So let's get going with the first one. First round is movies. Question 1. What was the name of the pub in Shaun of the Dead? In Shaun of the Dead, what was the name of the pub? Question 2. What was the highest grossing film of 2019? What was the highest grossing film of 2019? Question 3. Who played Alfred Pennyworth in 1997's Batman and Robin? Which is a great movie. No. Who played Alfred Pennyworth in 1997's Batman and Robin? Question 4. What year was the original Friday the 13th released? So the original Friday the 13th was released in what year? Question number 5. How many awards did Forrest Gump win at the Oscars? So at the Oscars, how many awards did Forrest Gump win? Question number 6. Who played the lead role Johnny in the 2003 film The Room? If you know this film, you know what a classic it is. So who played Johnny in The Room? Question 7. In Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, how many X's must he battle? In Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, how many X's must he battle? Question number 8. Who directed 1984's original Ghostbusters? In 1984, who directed Ghostbusters? Question 9. What future Dredd actor stars alongside Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in 2005's Doom? What future Dredd actor stars alongside Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in 2005's Doom? Question number 10. In The Shining, what does Danny do when he's talking to Tony? He does something very specific. What does Danny do when talking to Tony? So that was the end of round 1 movies. Now's the time, if you need to go back, check over any of the questions you missed. Or if you're ready, we're moving on to round 2, which is video games. Question 1. In what game did Mario make his first appearance? So Mario made his first appearance in what game? Question number 2. In 1996's Resident Evil, who saves Jill Valentine from becoming a Jill sandwich? If you played the game, that's famously poorly delivered line, as with most of the original Resident Evil's voice acting weren't the best. So who saves Jill from becoming a Jill sandwich? Question number 3. How many standard zones, not including the special stages, does the original Sonic the Hedgehog have? So not the special levels, just the basic levels that you'd run through. How many zones does the original Sonic have? Question 4. What year was the North American release of Nintendo's GameCube? So what year was the GameCube released in North America? I've specialised North America just because obviously they're released at different times in Asia and stuff. So, question 5. The SNES console was released in 1991, but what does SNES stand for? What does SNES stand for? Question 6. What was the first expansion to be released for World of Warcraft? I imagine you'd only know this if you played it, because I didn't when I was researching these questions. Didn't have a clue. So what was the first expansion to be released for World of Warcraft? Question 7. The Kingdom of Hyrule is the main setting for which classic video game franchise? The Kingdom of Hyrule is the main setting for which classic video game franchise? Question number 8. Desmond Miles is a major character from which game series? Desmond Miles is a major character from which game series? Question 9. Which seventh generation handheld gaming console was released in North America on the 24th of March 2005? Which 7th generation handheld gaming console was released in North America on the 24th of March 2005? Finally, question number 10. Cloud Strife is the mercenary main character of which game? Question 10. Cloud Strife is the main mercenary character of which game? Right, that was your video game round. Again, take the opportunity now if you need to go back, re-listen to any questions. When you're ready, we're carrying on to technology. Round 3 is technology. Question 1. What does DVD stand for? Question number 1. What does DVD stand for? Question number 2. What year was the first iPod released? The first iPod was released in what year? Question number 3. What does VHS stand for? I imagine there's going to be some people watching that don't have a clue what that is. Basically, this is the thing that came before DVDs. So what does VHS stand for? Question number 4. Who produced the first portable CD player? So I'm just looking for the company that produced the first portable CD player. And give yourself a bonus point if you can name what the name of that CD player was. Question number 5. What year did Bill Gates graduate from Harvard? So Bill Gates graduated from Harvard in what year? Question number 6. What company produced the first handheld mobile phone? So the first handheld mobile phone was produced by what company? Question number 7. In what country is JVC based? So JVC is based in what country? As you had our Arsenal fans, a bit of nostalgia for you there when you're looking at that. Question number 8. What year was the North American release of the first Blu-ray player? So what year was the first Blu-ray player released? Question 9. Stephen Sasson, I hope I'm saying his name right, not butchering that. Stephen Sasson invented the first digital camera in 1975. True or false? Stephen Sasson invented the first digital camera in 1975. True or false? Finally, question 10. What is the best-selling games console of all time? So what is the best-selling games console of all time? Right, now's your chance to go back. If you need to, go back through the round. If you need to re-listen to any of the questions. Or carrying on now to round 4, which is toys. Or collectibles, depending on how you look after them in certain communities. So question 1. Which toy was the first toy to be advertised on TV, has remained in production, and made appearances in the Toy Story films? So which toy was the first toy to be advertised on TV, has remained in production, and made appearances in the Toy Story films? Question number 2. Featuring 7,541 pieces, what do you build with the largest Lego set ever? And again, featuring 7,541 pieces, what do you build with the largest Lego set ever? Question number 3. The name of which game is derived from the Swahili word which means to build? So the name of which game is derived from the Swahili word which means build? Question number 4. Which inventor created the model construction system called Meccano? So which inventor created the model construction system called Meccano? Question 5. How many columns are there in a Connect 4 grid? How many columns are there in a Connect 4 grid? Question 6. In 1996, Action Man was launched in Britain as a licensed copy of which American toy? So in 1996, Action Man was launched in Britain as a licensed copy of which American toy? Question 7. In what year did American toy company Mattel launch its Barbie doll? What year did American toy company Mattel launch its Barbie doll? Question 8. Which melody is most often associated with a jack-in-the-box? Which melody is most associated with a jack-in-the-box? Question 9. In which year did the children's toy Clackers first hit the shops? A. 1971, B. 1973, or C. 1975? So the children's toy Clackers first appeared in 71, 73, or 75. I'm glad I grew up in a time where that is not a big selling toy. And finally, question number 10. Which executive toy is a device that demonstrates the scientific principle of the conservation of momentum and energy? Oh, that's a good question to get out. So, I'll go through that again slowly. Which executive toy is a device that demonstrates the scientific principle of the conservation of momentum and energy? Right, so the answer's coming next. So here's the final warning to go back, pause, discuss, do what you need to do before I reveal the answers. 3, 2, 1. Right, movies. So what was the name of the pub in Shaun of the Dead? It was the Winchester. Question 2. What was the highest grossing film of 2019? It was, of course, Avengers Endgame. The whole world saw it. Question 3. Who played Alfred Pennyworth in 1997's Batman and Robin? It was Michael Gough. He played Alfred in 4 of the Batmans. Question 4. What year was the original release of Friday the 13th? It was 1980. Question 5. How many awards did Forrest Gump win at the Oscars? It won 6. Question 6. Who played the lead role Johnny in the 2003 film The Room? It was Tommy Wiseau. So, and if you've not seen that film, Chris Stuckman does a great review of it, which I highly recommend you watch on his YouTube channel. Question 7. In Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, how many X's must he battle? He battles 7. Question 8. Who directed 1984's original Ghostbusters? It's Ivan Reitman. I believe his son is now going to be directing the 3rd one. Question 9. What future Dredd actor stars alongside Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Doom? It was Carl Urban. Question 10. In The Shining, what does Danny do when talking to Tony? He moves his finger. Give me a moment to top up the scores for that round. And video games. Mario made his first appearance in Donkey Kong. Question 2. Resident Evil, Barry Burton saves Jill Valentine from becoming a Jill sandwich. Question 3. How many standard zones is there in the original Sonic? There's 7. It seemed like there's more than that back in the day when you couldn't save your progress, so you had to start all over again if you had to turn your console off. Imagine that, kids. No memory cards, no save slots. Question 4. What year was the North American release of Nintendo's GameCube? It was 2001. Question 5. What does SNES stand for? It stands for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Question 6. The first expansion released for World of Warcraft was The Burning Crusade. Whatever that is. Question 7. The Kingdom of Hyrule is the main setting in the Legend of Zelda franchise. I have to admit, I've never played a Zelda game, so I grew up in the Sega versus Nintendo era. I went with Sega. Question 8. Desmond Miles is a major character from the Assassin's Creed series. Question 9. The handheld gaming console released on the 24th of March 2005 was the PlayStation Portable, or the PSP. And finally, question number 10. Cloud Strife is from Final Fantasy VII. Give you a moment, just top up your score there. We move on to the next round. Here we go. Technology. Question 1. DVD stands for Digital Versatile Disc. Question 2. The first iPod was released in 2001. VHS stands for Video Home System. It was Sony produced the first portable CD player, and if you got the D50, you got your bonus point. Question 5. What year did Bill Gates graduate from Harvard? That was a trick question. He didn't graduate. Well, why would you need to when you're making billions? So question 6. What company produced the first handheld mobile phone? It was Motorola. These were great back in the day. If somebody tried to mug you for it, you could have just knocked them out with it. So, something you can't do with a smartphone. What country is JVC based? They are based in Japan. What year was the North American release of the first Blu-ray player? It was 2006. Question 9. Stephen Sasson invented the first digital camera in 1975. That was true. Didn't think they were invented that far back, but apparently they were. And finally, question number 10. The best-selling games console of all time was, of course, the PlayStation 2. I didn't know anyone that didn't have that console. Again, I'll give you a moment to up your scores. We'll move on to the answers for toys in the toy round. Right, which toy was the first to be advertised on TV, remained in production, and now made appearances in the Toy Story films? It was Mr. Potato Head. Still going. So, featuring 7,541 pieces, what you build the largest Lego set ever is the Millennium Falcon. The name of which game is derived from the Swahili word which means to build? It's Jenga. Question 4. Which inventor created the model construction system called Meccano? It was Frank Hornby. Those of you local to me probably have guessed that, as we've got the Hornby Visitor Centre right on our doorstep. Question 5. How many columns are there in a Connect 4 grid? There are 7. Question 6. In 1996, Action Man was launched in Britain as a licensed copy of which American toy? It was G.I. Joe. Question 7. In what year did American toy company Mattel launch its Barbie doll? It was 1959. It's been going a while now, Barbie. Question 8. Which melody is most often associated with a Jack-in-the-Box? It's Pop Goes the Weasel. Question 9. Which year did the children's toy Clackers first hit the shops? It was 1971. I feel sorry for you if that was on your Christmas list. Finally, question 10. Which executive toy is a device that demonstrates the scientific principle of the conservation and momentum of energy? It was Newton's cradle. And there we go. So, thank you for doing the quiz. Please let me know your scores down in the comments. Obviously, don't give away any answers. Kind of ruins it for all the other nerds. like and subscribe. Hopefully I'll get some more quizzes up. Let me know what you thought of that one, if it was too hard, too easy. Keep me in the loop. And thank you again, and make sure you come back.